Are there any thinkers or founders or executives that you draw on for inspiration or that you've drawn on for inspiration building Extend?
Again, I take it from a lot of my own experience firsthand. I'd like, to some extent, you look at some of these founders and then you discover many years later that they're not really who you thought they were. So I've tended to rely more and more on kind of my own life experience. And I was actually meeting with one of these individuals who's a mentor of mine who helped set up this company where we were working alongside SAP called Druid back in the day, a gentleman by the name of Nick Keating. And again, for me, that the key part is he was all about creating these high performing teams. And really, it was all about, if you're stuck in an airport with someone for 6 hours, are you going to survive? And if you are, then you've probably found someone who's really good. I'm going to assume you're smart enough because you went to a good school and all those things. He was much more focused on actually, are you going to be cohesive as individuals? And so for me, that was really instrumental as I thought about teams. I took a huge learning from him, and he made work fun, right? We all knew at the time we were working 14 to 16-hour days, and you knew you had to have a fun decompression piece, and he had a flair for the amusing as we went out after work and even during work, right? He had a very good sense. And then from a people perspective, and this wouldn't be a surprise to, I think, to anybody who's certainly worked at American Express, right? Ken Chenault was truly an inspirational leader on so many different levels. He did so many things that, frankly, companies are only just catching up to today, right? Which is, what's the percentage of leaders that are women on your team, right? How much diversity do you have on your team, right? And it was linked to our financial goals, right? 25% of our bonus was linked to, did you meet those criteria?
That's serious skin in the game, which obviously improves the odds it's going to happen.
That's right. And his view was, unless we put in sort of some of these positive affirmation pieces, right, we're all going to sit there and not do anything about it. And so it has continued right inside of the company with Steve Squirry now. And I think it's ingrained in the leadership, right, that it's upon us to act to create right a more equitable place at work. So that becomes an important part of it. And actually, it's funny we had International Women's Day, and I think we quickly realized that 40% of the employees, 42%, I think, were women. Our chief product officer is Orna Albers. Our chief people officer is someone who used to work with my wife at the Brooklyn Nets. And so again, we've brought people into leadership, and again, I'm constantly asking people to hold us accountable, not just for who we employ, the type of business that we do as well. Are there any business construct that people aren't comfortable with? And again, I found that the team has a really strong voice. And I think that's because we've layered that trust in there and we're all trying to do the right thing. But that's where I've taken my inspiration from, probably more so than, yeah, sure, you could sort of lean in and say, Warren Buffett, it's amazing. The Oracle Omaha, he works like he's, 90 or work till he's 130 if he lives that long. On the other hand, you could say, Bill Gates, and you could say all these different people. But the reality is I feel it's more powerful because it's people I've worked with and I truly understand what those values really are. And so I can more easily embody them and really impart them, I think, onto others versus people who again, invariably over time will somehow disappoint us.